Stand up three. Yes, sir. Mark Ping is going right at Simon Sandagon.
At the basket and one.
It's a brand new month in the MPBL and we're back at the Marikina Sports Center in the city of Marikina as we bring you another triple header this Monday featuring Paeng Are, who will try to backstop itong Zamboanga kalaban niyang kanyang former teammate here. Now with Ilagan, itong si JP Kawilan. That's our first game, Zamboanga versus Ilagan Isabela, followed by Bacolod versus Sarangani, and then to cap things off, the San Juan Knights go up against the Muntinlupa Cagers. Magandang hapon mga kaliga. Ken Pangilinan with Coach Mike Perez. Coach Mike, medyo ramdam ko na yung summer. Medyo umiinit na yung panahon natin, pero umiinit din yung ating preseason.
Oo, umiinit dahil halos 3 games na lang ang natitira para dito sa ating preseason. At talaga nga namang halos lahat gustong maka-advance.
And syempre, batiin natin yung mga nanonood sa atin live on our official MPBL YouTube channel. And Coach Mike, himay na natin agad ang ating team standings because like we said already, we're winding down the elimination phase of our preseason. And nakikita natin, these two teams, they're searching for their first win. Ang Zamboanga actually won nung unang laban nila, no? And both of them medyo in a losing skid, no, in Group B, itong Ilagan, Isabela, and Zamboanga.
Kaya naman napaka-importante nitong mga larong ito. Actually, even Muntinlupa and Ilagan really need to win their remaining games para at least magkaroon sila ng, it's a very slim chance for them to get in, lalo na depende kung paano magpe-perform itong Caloocan at Pasay sa kanilang grupo. Pero overall, it's Abra, Batangas for Group A, Quezon and San Juan that's been really leading the pack in terms of their groupings.
And tandaan natin, outright entry into the semifinals, whoever finishes on top of their respective groups. But for Zamboanga, nangangapa pa sila dito, no? But one guy that certainly needs more help para dito sa kanilang kupunan is Paeng Are, and trying to lead his squad na maraming bagong pyesa, Coach Mike, but you can rely upon his production always para dito sa kanyang team.
Even in their last game, siya ang pinaka-consistent na scorer. He kept attacking the gaps and kept Zamboanga afloat early. 17 points on a 60% shooting, 3 rebounds at 2 assists. Katulad na sinasabi mo, kailangan rin ng ibang tulong para sa iba pang tropa niya from Zamboanga.
And when we shift to the other side, Coach Mike, familiar kay Paeng Are itong makakalaban niya, no? JL De Los Santos coming back from his stint in the PBA, now here reuniting with Coach Louie Gonzalez, and those two were together with JRU and ngayon in the pros and Ilagan, and safe to say medyo nandun pa sila sa feeling out process again under a new team.
Yeah, I think not just JL, even the entire team of Ilagan, yun more or less ang somehow na-observe natin at naririnig natin. No exception itong si JL De Los Santos. In that previous game, medyo atake sa rim, 6 of 10 from the field, nag-create siya ng mga plays, pero somehow yung mga ibang turnovers na na-commit, not just him but even the team, really hurt the cause of their team in that game.
And these two squads, they're trying to make amends. Especially, they've fallen into tough losses of late. Pero meron silang pagkakataon na makabawi in today's game. Alright, it's Zamboanga versus Ilagan Isabela. In our first game, punta na natin si Miguel Perey for starters.
Invitational. Let's meet the starters. First for Zamboanga, Sikat. Starting at guard number 2, Chino Mosqueda. Also at guard number 12, John Galinato. At center number 13, Paul Turco. Forward number 22, Arthur Calisay. Also at forward number 19, John Rojas. The head coach for Zamboanga is John Sia. Assistant coaches Tay Hermoso, Mav Caro, Thirdy Caro, and Joseph Hisso. Team manager is Martin God. Team owner is Zamboanga City Honorable Congresswoman Kat Chua. Here comes the starting 5 for Ilagan Isabela, 5-star Cowboys. Starting at center number 41, J-Boy Solis. At forward number 7, JP Kawilan. At guard number 2, Don Gumaru. Also at guard number 27, JL De Los Santos. And the other forward, number 18, Art De La Cruz. The head coach for the Cowboys is Louis Gonzalez. Assistant coaches, Mixon Ramos, Eric De La Cuesta, Hans Robles, Alex Calweng, and Ed Tacorda. Coaching consultant is Glenn Capasio. Team managers, Vice Mayor Dave Diaz.
Starters for
Board member
Zamboanga,
AJ
Chino
Diaz, and
Mosqueda,
Johnny Fornier.
John Galinato, Paul Turco, Arthur Calisay, and Edsel Rojas. Sa Ilagan Isabela naman, the backcourt of Dondon Dumaru and JL De Los Santos. Up front are J-Boy Solis, Art De La Cruz, and JP Kawilan. Our referees for this ball game are Edmar Avis, Lester Arcega, and Vincent Catubao. Fourth referee is John Patrick Abragante. Unang tanong ko sa iyo, Coach Mike, kaya mo ba yung ginagawa nung utility kayo ng Ilagan Isabela? Nagpo-push up tapos may palakpak?
Parang di ko naman yata. Well, there was a certain age na we were capable of doing that. Ikaw siguro kaya mo pa yan.
Hindi ko kaya yan. Kahit 10 years ago, hindi ko pa rin magagawa yan.
Alam mo kung sino natawa sa opening na yan? Si Tikboy, mukhang gusto tayo sample nito mamaya eh.
But ito, no? Ilagan Isabela opening things up with a turnover. And ang dami nilang dinagdag, Coach Mike, ha? They had that strong start. Last season, sila yung pinakabagong team. Made it all the way to the playoffs by the play-in. Just fell short against Abra. And if there's one thing na they could take away from that season was that game number 2 where they almost pulled an upset against the eventual champions but just fell short in the fourth quarter.
Yes, indeed. And you have to remember nung laban ng Abra last season, before heading into that game, dalawang team pa lang ang nagpahirap sa Abra, in my opinion. Yung tinalo sila ng Pasay at the same time yung game nila sa San Juan. And then in comes Ilagan with that, really strong performance. Might have been para sa kanila. We got a buster going on here.
Shot clock violation yata.
Okay.
I-review nila mabuti. Siguraduhin nila. Ano pa lang to 49 seconds in to the game.
Ganun kainit ang labanan very early pa lang dito sa atin.
By the way, just to recap what happened last week. We had that upset win of the Quezon City Black Bulls against the Batangas City Tanduay Rum Masters. And that compounded things a bit in Group A dahil nagkaroon na ng blemish for itong Batangas.
Yes, indeed. Pero they still have a firm hold at number 2 dito sa Group A na seedings. Medyo humahabol lang dyan yung Binyan at saka Quezon City. Well, Binyan and Quezon City really would have to perform very well in their remaining games. These two teams, roughly about 3 games remaining dito sa preseason na mga games nila before we head into the playoffs. It really would depend how they perform. And you have to remember, top 3 teams lang ang mag-a-advance, no? With the number 1 team heading straight into the semifinals, and the 2 and 3 will go into a quarterfinals crossover as they meet up the other 2 and 3 from the other group.
Samantala, yung Bataan finally breaking through, notching their very first win by beating Sarangani. Nakatulong din na they played on their home floor.
Yes.
Balik tayo sa Orion after quite some time. Madalas tayo nandyan last season.
At saka parang wala nagbago, ganun pa rin yung suporta ng mga taga-Orion at sa kanilang team ng Bataan. And really, yung na-miss yung laro ng Bataan Risers at makita sila ulit, talaga nga naman tuwa-tuwa yung mga hometown fans.
So hindi pala shot clock violation, counted pala.
Okay.
So that is a successful field goal for Dondon Gumaru.
Our very first play is a review agad, no?
Zamboanga, Edsel Rojas. Galinato, in front of him is Art De La Cruz. Pulls up for 3. No good. De La Cruz secures the rebound. 2-0, Ilagan Isabela with the lead. JL to J-Boy. Clipped, hits the jumper, and a bonus free throw coming up after getting fouled.
Now, if itong movement na to is any indication of the offensive schemes, see that good slip right there of J-Boy Solis. No question, dyan sa area na yan, we've talked about this a lot of times. Yung paglaro niya ng pinch post, halos lahat dyan sa spot na yan. Lahat ng klaseng finish, alam na niya kung paano gagawin. Kaya naman yung ghost na screen na niya na yun, talagang gagana para dito kay J-Boy Solis. Which bodes well for Ilagan.
5-0 is our official score. Galinato rolling to Gino Mosqueda on the right side. Edsel Rojas catching up top, turning around. Jumper is no good. Ball ending up again with Art de la Cruz. Ilagan Isabela trying to play with a lot of pace here. Umaru. Solis punta sa loob kay de la Cruz. Great hands, but De La Cruz able to recover and score for the Cowboys.
Strong start para dito sa Ilagan Isabela early in this game against Zamboanga. Alam mo may mga gustong subukan na sistema at galawan para sa mga players, and Art de la Cruz continues to be a guy that would lead them in both aspects.
Shots not falling so far from Zamboanga. Kawilan na iwanan. Couldn't make them pay though. Tatakbo ang Zamboanga. Kalisay challenging the defense of Art de la Cruz. And at the very least, able to draw a foul. Earning himself 2 shots at the line.
One thing you notice very early para dito sa dalawang teams na to, talagang pace ang labanan. Paunahang makapunta sa kabilang side, trying to get the most of their advantage. Itong si Kalisa has been a part of that combination with, in my opinion, Gabat and JP last season para dito sa Zamboanga.
Kalisay, pasok, parehong free throw. Zamboanga finally on the board.
Kasi last season na naghahanap si Coach Bong ng mga shooters, yun yung mga pinupuntahan niya, yung tatlong yun.
Yeah. Entry pass, J-Boy Solis, the reverse too strong. Gino Mosqueda. In front of him, De Los Santos. Maganda intensyon, but fortunately unable to connect there with Paul Turco.
Medyo maaga yung pagkaka-short roll ni Paul Turco. Might have held that screen a little bit more to give that entire space a little bit more freedom to finish.
Maksak si Art. He's getting past Edsel Rojas to lay it up and in.
And from last season, alam mo naman si Art de la Cruz, halos lahat ng department siya ay nanguna dyan with really good, very good shooting.
9-2 ang ating talaan. Paul Turco, shot fake. Got Umaru up in the air, converting inside for 2 points.
So far, laki talaga ng makukuha rin nila kay Chino Mosqueda. It really just needs help from other guards like Achi Inigo, and that matter para dito sa Zamboanga.
Ayun siya yung nakatasang pantayan si JL de Los Santos.
Yes.
Art de la Cruz, one-hander. Galinato secures it for Zamboanga. Splitting 2 defenders. Dami niyang dinaanan doon. Laying it up and in.
Taking his skill right through the cup. Parang style nung nasa San Juan Nice pa ito si Galinato. Yun naman ang performance na gusto nilang makuha mula kay John.
9-6 is our score. Huling umahatak si Mosqueda against De Los Santos. Here was the play earlier coached by John Galinato.
Literal na tinahe galing sa likod, Ginawa ng paraan para makarating sa harap. And knowing Coach Louie, who puts a lot of premium pagdating sa depensa, he wished the outcome could be a little bit better than how, John really just finished.
4 minutes gone by. Deep seal from J. De Los Santos. Able to convert plus a foul.
This is a different version of JL De Los Santos that we're seeing, who in the previous seasons really played for Muntinlupa, went into the PBA, got a lot of experience. I feel parang lumakas yung katawan ni JL, and him coming in for Ilagan, magandang pang-relyebo para dun sa point guard duties ni Art de la Cruz.
naging magkakampi sila dyan ni Chino Mosqueda sa Muntinlupa.
Yes. At doon ko nakilala yung Perez ni Chino Mosqueda. Patabi namin.
A familiar face.
Oh.
Sino yun, Coach Mike?
Hindi mo ba sila pinsan, Ken?
Paano naging pinsan yun? Pakipaliwanag sa akin, Direk.
Direk Freddy, may kailangan kayo paliwanag. Pakilabas na lang yung graphics daw. Para makita yung family tree.
Nakakahiya sa kanya kasi masyadong magandang lalaki yung taong yun.
Pero baller din si Gab yan, di ba?
Oh.
I know he's also a baller. He plays basketball.
I wish we had time to figure out why he's here.
Oh, yes.
Mamaya may makasagap tayo. Pero meron tayong head coach challenge early here in the first quarter. Cowboys though with a 6-point lead, 12-6. 5 minutes and 28 seconds left in the first period. And Coach Louie Gonzalez, let's see if he's right. We'll come back after the result of this one.
Upon review, the challenge was successful. Ball possession for the Cowboys.
Successful challenge. Coach Louie Gonzalez. So, Ilagan will get the ball back. We had a brief chat with Coach Louie earlier, Coach Mike.
Yes.
He was talking about the difficulty of their schedule here in the preseason. Kasi mabibigat agad mga nakalaban nila tapos sunod-sunod pa.
Yeah. Well, technically, what he's saying is that nakapag-prepare kami pero halos para dun na sa unang-unang game namin against San Juan. But everything else, given na dikit-dikit kasi yung mga games na i-assign sa kanila, and they had very little time. Another boss is beater right there. I think this is gonna be reviewed again.
Oh, review na naman?
Oh,
Okay.
that one finished by Bong Galanza. And again, staying with that conversation, ang wish lang ni Coach Luis, marami pa silang makuhang mga lessons na pwede nilang maiayos at mai-prepare heading into the regular season.
Ito hindi na talaga counted to. Nasa kamay pa eh. Malinaw.
Oh yeah, tama. Malinaw naman.
Pangat pa lang si Bong.
Pero if what you observe, at least dun sa mga halos 24 na naitawag dito sa Ilagan Isabela, you know, they try to get a lot of movement until maging late na yung depensa later on in the shot clock. Ang importante lang dyan, and I'm sure Coach Louie and the team have prepared the players for this, is to have really good shot takers with the clock very late na.
John Sia, new coach of Zamboanga. In comes Allen Mina, nagbabalik din for Ilagan Isabela.
Alam mo, sarap ng balik ni Allen Mina, no? At sigurado ako natutuwa rin to si Art de la Cruz kasi ang dami nilang tropang tumutulong sa kanila ngayon dito sa mga Cowboys.
Yeah. Certainly adding more firepower para dito sa Ilagan Isabela. Huli. Huling tumulak si J-Boy.
Oh. Sa sobrang nahuli siya, captured na captured. Pati si JL De Los Santos napangiti na lang.
Still in the lead though, 12-6. 4:30 left in quarter number 1. MoneyPay is the digital wallet built for the community. So download the MoneyPay app now. Download na.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, that's Mike Are. Try the 3. Edsel Rojas off the offensive rebound, fading away. Foul against Zamboanga again. Will go the other way. Palasa ng tao dito. Solis comes out. In comes Joseph Gabayni.
Another big man para dito sa Ilagan. And when we talk to Coach Louie kanina, I sense na kompleto na ako sa bigs kahit pa paano. Yung tatlong big man niya in Rivero, of course si Alan Santos, and then Joseph Gabayni. He's pretty solid from that spot.
Turnover though against Ilagan Isabela.
O pangatlong turnover na nila yan. Ito sa game na ito. I'm sure Coach Louie is not gonna be happy. Especially that last season, they were only averaging roughly about 8.6 turnovers per game. And for you to get 3 very early in the first quarter, these are the things that i-correct nila eventually bago pumasok ang regular season.
Well-run play there from Zamboanga, getting that point. Art de la Cruz. Basket will not count.
Medyo may tama dun sa pisngi ni Edsel Rojas. This is that cut earlier. Good finish for Mike. For Gabat.
Yeah, off that sideline inbound. Meron tayong review, no? Because mukhang ang foul is on Edsel Rojas. Pero after the whistle, as we'll see here. Yeah.
Oh yes. That was directly to the face of Rojas.
Pero pwede rin offensive foul yan.
Yes.
Pending the review. 12-8 is our score. 3 minutes and 35 seconds left in the first quarter. Nasubukan mo na ba yung ibang kainan dito sa Marikina?
Di pa.
Dapat
Ma-explore natin.
Oo, dami na dito.
Sino ba taga Marikina? Di ba ikaw?
Hindi daw taga Marikina.
Hindi pala.
Tatawid ka lang ng onte.
Oo.
Maarating ka na sa kung saan man ako nakatira.
Sino ba taga dito?
Taga dito.
Sa atin.
Sa atin. Top of my head, wala akong maisip.
Wala maisip eh, no?
Kasi sa South, meron yung Aguirre, di ba?
Oh. Pero hindi lang yung sa hindi lang yung sa side ng sukat. Maraming kainan rin sa banda.
Sa Molino.
Laguna, Binyan, Molito.
So yun na nga yung nangyari, no? On the review, offensive foul ang tinawag na kay Art de la Cruz. May mga ganyan din kasi dito kaya kita natanong.
Oh.
Sa Lilac, sa JP Rizal. Okay. May isipin ni Ate Dors.
Oo nga. Pero ang pinaka-impress talaga ako sa Marikina is yung linis talaga. You know, every time I go here, yun ang una ko mapapansin. Alam mong Marikina na eh, no?
It's Gabat. Fading away. Let that jumper short. Ball ends up with Luciano. Mike Are. It's JL de los Santos. Shot clock winding down on Zamboanga. Luciano got blocked by Joseph Gabayni. Gabayni catching the pass from Alan Mina. Trying to sidestep his way to the basket, but Luciano standing his ground, forcing a turnover against the Cowboys again.
Well, ganda ng depensa ng Ilagan Isabela, but you have to convert the other end.
LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL.
I felt si Otep had a shooter in the corner. No? Nandun na si JL de los Santos, but he didn't get to it. He decided instead to attack that middle of the floor defense.
Sean Bautista.
Siya sa mga scorer to.
Saka one of their distinguished home row players, si Sean Bautista.
Yes.
Mike Are hits the first free throw for Zamboanga.
Who last year played only for with three games para dito sa Zamboanga.
Nung playoffs na lang yan eh.
Nung playoffs na lang, roughly parang close to 12 minutes yung nilaro niya. Nag-average siya ng close to 9 points per game.
Saan naalala ko, nanalo sila game number 1, pero nag-struggle pa siya ng onti doon.
Yes.
Then bumawi siya in the last couple of games. Like Are, behind the back, Cornelius. Pasa palabas kay Rich Gabat. Flat on the 3. Pitch ahead to Sean Bautista. 12-10. Cowboys with a 2-point lead. Josh Giap. Ball will stay with the Cowboys.
And I love how yung Isabela constantly in movement kahit na yung bola na ipasa na sa poste. Other teams, minsan nagkakaroon ng pahinga. Tingnan natin kung ano magiging diskarte ng big man natin.
Giap, pasa palabas. Allen Mina. Long 2-point shot from the corner. Doesn't work. Behind the back dribble, Paeng Are. Shifting gears. Hesse able to draw a foul again on Ilagan.
So far, Paeng Are very involved offensively and putting a lot of pressure dun sa depensang ng Isabela and Sean Bautista is getting his workout out for him. Dahil talagang inaatake siya ng inaatake ni Paeng.
Meron ulit review from Coach Louie Gonzalez. Second challenge. Both here in the first quarter. We'll be back for the result of this one.
Upon review, the challenge was successful. There was no foul. Ball possession stays with Zamboanga.
Successful ulit. Pero huli na nila yan.
Ito yung atake pababa. That sure looked like off Are. That ball was the last touch. If you look at that replay,
Yeah.
last touch ng Zamboanga.
Shano cuts inside for 2 more. Natabla na nila yung laro dito. 12 all. Both teams in penalty. We have a foul against Zamboanga. So Josh Giap himself 2 shots at the line.
And so far, 2 or 3 times already we've seen Zamboanga constantly attacking yung individual defense ni Sean Bautista. And so every time na nagkakaroon ng switch at sa kanya napupunta, that almost always seems to end up siya yung pinaka-point of attack.
Josh Giap had a strong start to the season. Pero nagkaroon siya ng injury, Coach Mike, which really derailed his progress. And medyo case of bad timing eh.
Yes.
Because by the time he returned, meron na rin reinforcements tong Ilagan Isabela. Guys like TH Tumalip came in, J-Boy Solis. At bagyang naapektuhan yung kanyang spot sa rotation.
Oo, kasi parang halos padulo na yun no? And so he was trying to fit back in after yung injury niya na yun. And he might have played for 20 games. He started in 11. Maganda pa rin ang binigay niyang numero considering na marami rin siya mga larong hindi na napuntahan. 10 points average, roughly third when it comes to rebounds. Ano impressive sa kanya yung shot making eh. Mataas yung percentage niya, it's close to 55%. And so every time Coach Louie needs points from the bigs, he practically alongside kay Art De La Cruz are the guys that he goes to.
And also, you had, we have Commissioner Emer Ureta, Head of Operations Zaldirio Lubid, Ascom Satar, and Head of Security Rudy Distrito, always present here in the preseason.
And always very active, engaging in conversations. At naghahanap ng mga paraan niya kung paano mas lalo pang mapapaganda ang ating MPBL.
Sila din makasama mo sa Bataan.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Sila eh.
Hindi sila sa Bataan. Sinasabi nga namin ni Coach Walid na na parang pwede na pang 3x3 talaga yung tatlo. May guardia ka in Boss Rudy, may wing ka in Boss Emer, and then big man mo si Boss Saldi.
Pwede.
Pwede, di ba?
Minute and 12 left in quarter number 1. Cornelius tries an outside shot. Rebound, Joseph Gavain. Zamboanga now in the lead. After playing catch-up the majority of this quarter. Josh Gia thought about it. Gives it up to TJ Celebrino. Gavain face-up jumper off the heel. Rebound, Inan Cornelius. Cornelius pass. Stolen away and save onto Gabayni. But counter steal, Paeng Are will pull up for 3. No good. Gabayni secures it. Papunta kay Felebrico. Tatakbo dito ang Ilagan Isabela. Felebrico dishing it to Giab. Naaga ulit ng Zamboanga. It's sloppy here to end the first. Kabat's 3, not even close. Pitch ahead to Giab and another turnover against the Cowboys.
And a long rally without any shot make and a lot of turnovers for both these teams.
Dami na yan, ha?
Oo, dami na yan. Ang turnover natin
Sa
so
Ilagan,
far,
particularly.
8 na para sa Ilagan. Overall, we already have a combined 12 turnovers already between these two teams. First quarter pa lang pinag-uusapan natin.
Paubos na ang oras dito in quarter number 1. Edsel Rojas not hitting the rim on the shot. That will end the first quarter between these two teams. Zamboanga though with a strong finish in this period after Ilagan Isabela held the fort early on in the first.
Well, it seems that scoring has been very exclusive inside the paint for both these teams as they try play with a lot of pace, back and forth, every live turnover. And I don't think there is one team that has already gained a consistent momentum. Pero ang kagandahan nito is pumupukpok pa rin itong dalawang koponan natin.
At dyan nagtatapos ang ating first quarter. Labang ang Zamboanga Sikat laban sa Ilagan Isabela 5-star Cowboys 14-13. Zamboanga, tough outing against San Juan, losing this one 116-73.
Yeah, they shot only 38.6% on the field with 15 lesser makes at lesser attempts versus San Juan. Napakababa ng efficiency at napakahirap para maglaro sila ng pace na gusto nilang laruan. Yung 3-point shooting, sobrang baba rin. That was the biggest swing of the game na hindi ma-match nila ang output ng San Juan kasi naka-20 na 3-point makes ang San Juan noon. Sila naka-5 lang. And assist naman, very limited yung ball movement nila kaya it's tougher for them to create anything and to make shots.
Gave up a total of 23-point shots made for the Knights in that particular game. That was held here at the Marikina Sports Center just last week. Tayo rin ba nag-cover nun? Tayo dalawa yata yun eh.
Yeah, I think tayo dalawa. Ano?
Hindi, tayo.
Tama tayo. Sobrang dami ng games na very early preseason eh. Pero feeling ko slow start nila yung talagang nakapagpahirap din sa Zamboanga.
Gabayni picking up his second foul. First appearance for Prince Rivero, who also traces his roots in Isabela.
Yeah. And yan yung isa sa mga, actually, both Joseph and him have really come in para mapalakas lalo yung kanilang big man presence inside. Last season kasi halos lahat tumatrabaho si Kuya Ala na lang, nagkaroon ng mga instances na na-injure rin si Art de la Cruz. Medyo manipis sila pagdating sa bigs. But now, you have 3 different bigs that can actually rotate that you can use for the entire season para dito sa Isabela.
Also, you had the emergence of Mark Dyke last season for
Yes.
them.
Well, Mark Dyke came in at the right time, na kung kailangan nila yung mga ibang presence. He was medium size pero he was playing big.
San Bautista, Miguel Ona, hand off to Dondon Gumaro. But shot off, but foul called on Zamboanga. Jordan Santa Ana.
Zamboanga's really doing this more on the defensive end. They really are just having difficulty converting on their end of the floor. Right now, 21% shooting lang sila, going 4 of 19. Pero yung hirap sa pumuntos din, a lot of that has to do with the defense of Isabela.
Prince Rivero. Coco Pingoy. Shot clock winding down on the Cowboys again. Gumaru turns around, tough shot. Defensive rebound by Miguel Ona. Dondon Gumaru with a straightaway 3.
Dondon Gumaru, you give him the ball very early in the shot clock and he has all that space to work on, not being guarded closely. Yun ang makukuha mo.
Wild shot from Mosqueda leads this fast break opportunity for the Cowboys. Coco Pingoy steps into a 3. No, tip-in is good from TJ Felebrigo.
DJ doing a good job of staying in there, hanging around, waited for that shot miss by Coco and able to tip it in.
Mosqueda backing down Dondon Gumaru. Forcing his way inside. No whistle. Felebrigo in transition. Going right at Edsel Rojas. Foul on the floor against Zamboanga.
Edsel did his thing to try and defend against Felebrigo who was on a downhill action. And ginawa lang ni Felebrigo doon, kumuha siya ng konting bump para makakreate ng separation. Pero dahil sa lakas ng katawan ni Edsel Rojas, siya rin yung tumalsik palayo. And so he had to put up that shot.
Baseline inbound for the Cowboys. Reclaiming the lead, 18-16. Little over 2 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Prince Rivero settles for a jumper. Rebound, Paeng Are. The slip, the pass outside. Mosqueda running into traffic. Unsuccessful again. But the turnovers continue to haunt the Cowboys. Ang sampulan nila yan.
Ito na tingin ko yung sinasabi ni Coach Louie na kahit papaano, it takes a toll on the guys, no? Yung mga halos dikit-dikit na laro nila. And actually, Coco Pingoy was sinusubukan niyang i-lead ito si Gumaro dun sa open spot on the floor pero couldn't get there first before with the ball.
Paeng Are drives. Also a foul.
Tsaka alam mo, isa sa mga na-notice ko, Ken, dito sa preseason natin, the tenured teams that have added more reinforcement sa kanilang roster, mapapasubok sa mga teams na mabibilis rin. No? Point in case yung laban ng Batangas versus Quezon City. Quezon City has been pretty much surprising us with how they perform under Coach JB Olea.
Paeng Are hits both free throws. Tabla ulit tayo, 18 all. Coco Pingoy, TJ Felebrico, Dondon Gumaru, Prince Rivero, and Miguel Ona, the unit for Coach Louie Gonzalez. Gumaru trying to shake off Paeng Are. They go to the post. Prince Rivero, the cut inside. Gumaru almost got it. But he will head to the line after getting fouled.
And Ona was trying to set a re-screen pero hindi na nagamit yun nila Coco Pingoy pabalik as that ball was on the post over to Prince. But again, it really goes back dun sa sinasabi ko na kung pasa sa post na yung pag-uusapan, eh meron pa rin patuloy na ball, man movement sa weak side para dito sa Isabela.
Councilor Elvis Tolentino of Marikina.
Yes.
Madalas dito yung yung barangay liga.
Oo.
Diba?
Oo. Kasi isa ito sa mga lugar na mahilig rin talaga mag-basketball eh, no? Marami sa buong Pilipinas, pero dito ramdam mo rin yung pagmamahal sa laro ng basketball ng mga taga Marikina.
Yeah. Merong tawag dito. Technical foul, I think, on Ilagan isabela. Yeah.
Yeah.
Technical foul on TJ Felebrico. Ano lang, nagbitaw lang ng mga anghang na salta. Mainit ang panahon eh.
Na ano lang, naglabas lang na maiinit na hangin dito sa loob ng ating venue. This is one of the hottest venues that we played in. Kaya kung ikaw naman ang atleta naglalaro dito, sulit yung papawis mo eh, talagang tagaktak eh.
Baseline inbound. Jordan Santa Ana, bounce pass.
Nice fake.
Shot fake by Paeng Are. Umaru standing his ground, able to strip him of the basketball. But another careless pass. Turnover number 11 against the Cowboys.
And that's the second on Coco Pingoy. Twice both trying to locate. Ito si Don Gomaru.
Despite all that, sila pa rin lamang 2019. Felebrico picking up his third foul.
Jordan Santa Ana, kung papuntang kanan ng downhill niyan, medyo mahirap pigilan yan. Kaya nung tumama yun, ay talagang matatawagan ng foul.
Jordan Santa Ana bouncing around in his collegiate career. Played for UST, then with UE, then ending up with Arellano.
And last season, I think, played for
Quezon
Quezon
City.
City under Coach Jeff Perlas.
Right. Now finding his way to Zamboanga. Missing both free throws though. This remains a 1-point ball game for the Cowboys. Pingoy. Ona. Now to Gumaru. Against Jordan Santa Ana. Don Gumaru pulling up. Tough shot from the baseline works.
Well, you see Zamboanga coaching staff immediately standing up and telling, their guys na i-push aside itong si Gumaru. Good finish.
Getaway move off that spin cycle from Jordan Santa Ana.
Classic move, Jordan Santa Ana.
Now playing tough defense on Don Gumaru. Pingoy whips it to JP Kawilan. Zamboanga amping on the pressure. Miguel Ona. Nothing really happening on this possession. Ona though bails them out.
Talaga nga namang nagawan pa ng paraan yun, no? Credit to Poray. Talagang he was all over Ona.
MoneyPay is the digital wallet built for the community. Masyadong pilit. Yung tira doon ni Jordan Santa Ana. Skip pass from Pingoy. Don Gumaru on the left side. Balik kay Coco. Past the midway point of the second quarter, Prince Rivero sizing up his defender, using his left hand for the reverse.
Defensively, halos wala nakikita kang help para dito sa Zamboanga. Everybody just going on single coverage and Rivero really just making the most out of it.
We have a timeout with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the second quarter. This was Prince Rivero with a tough finish. Ona nagawa ng paraan, and as a result, those back-to-back baskets giving them a 5-point lead, 26-21. Ilagan Isabela lost to Caloocan Batang Kangkalu in their last game. And Coach Mike, nung first half, nakasabay pa sila eh. Pero pagdating ng last 2 quarters, nalayuan na sila nitong Caloocan Batang Kangkalu.
Oh, yung third quarter nung nag-8-0 run and na-break na yung rhythm nila dun sa larong yon. Actually, ganda na simula nila, nakalamang pa sila ng 7, pero nung nagsimula na mag-pile up yung mga turnovers tapos hindi pumapasok yung mga free throws nila, hindi na makontrol ng Ilagan yung game na yun. Ang dami nilang miss na mga looks and talagang paborable para sa Caloocan kasi ginawa ng Caloocan, nagstay na lang sila sa loob ng paint habang hindi pumapasok yung mga tira sa labas.
Mosqueda will bring the ball down for Zamboanga. Going up again against JL De Los Santos. Santa Ana trying to break down the defense of Coco Pincoy. Tough finish over 2 defenders.
Somehow si Jordan Santa Ana really taking it to Coco Pingoy right now. And these guys of Zamboanga, you see them one-on-one, no switches. Everybody just keeps staying attached. And there is no help. Yun ang nakikita mong depensa dito ng Zamboanga. And ang kagandahan dyan, sa aking pananaw, kung walang help, hindi ka magkakaroon ng 2 on the ball situation. Ito, solo red, green lang. Help down low ni Ona pero na-release na yung tira na yon para dito kay Jordan.
Also had something to say to Coco Pincoy after the made basket. JL De Los Santos got his defender napping there. Siya sa 15-foot line for 2 shots.
At kung magkakaroon ka ng depensa na wala kang help and walang switches, the moment na tumama yung screener do sa defender, talagang malilibre yung offensive player na binabantayan niya. And so that was the instance right there which allowed them and sent Coco Pingoy over to the line.
It's John Calios.
Or JL De Los Santos rather, sorry.
28-23. Nasa loob na rin for Zamboanga si Alexander Mohamed. Number 17. Kalisay gives it back out to Jordan Santa Ana. Mohamed slips inside, lays it up and in.
Oh, ganda ng pagkaka-setup ng short roll niya. Hinawakan muna niya saglit yung screen, did not immediately move. And when nabitbit na yung dalawang depensa, saka siya rumol. Nice pass.
Yeah, in between. Oh, the finish, even more impressive from JL De Los Santos.
Dito nahihirapan ang Isabela right now. Yung walang switch, no help defense para dito sa Zamboanga. It's really left to one-on-one tayong dalawa. Bola at saka depensa.
Approaching the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. Kalisay's pull-up off. Rivero the rebound. De Los Santos to Rivero. Pingoy pitching it inside. Extreme bang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. The hook shot by Ona, no. Ball ends up with Santa Ana. Mosqueda. Wow. Got bailed out. We had literally nowhere to go on that incursion.
Yeah, I'm not sure though kung i-challenge pa nila to.
Hindi, wala na silang challenge.
Wala na. Nagamit na pala
nila.
yung dalawa early in the first, Just a couple of quick ones. Tama ka, pag dating niya doon, wala na siyang pupuntahan.
Wala na siya sa balance eh.
Yes, he's out of balance, didn't have a good look on the rim, really just threw it up.
One of the remaining holdovers from that team that gave Batangas a scare in the first round
Yes.
in last season's playoffs.
Third best assist guy from last season para sa Zamboanga with almost 2.9 per game. Playing close to 19 minutes, having started 18 of the 29 games that he played. And so that's how key of a rotation piece itong si Chino Mosqueda last season for Zamboanga.
30-26. Both teams over the limit. De Los Santos, Kawilan sa loob, pumihit. At nakakuha ng foul laban sa Zamboanga.
Hindi makapaniwala si Kalisay na naisan siya ni Kawilan dahil last season ka-scrimmage niya yan. So kabisado niya yung galawan niya. But underneath, no, Kawilan just went to that footwork and got that foul.
JP Kawilan, an all-star last season for Zamboanga. But now he's with Ilagan Isabela, where he has his roots.
Yeah.
In that province.
He was actually the second most games played last season, second to Sena, who played 32 games, started in 24 of them, shot 33% from the three-point line, which karamihan, doon naman nanggagaling yung mga tulong na nakuha mo dito kay JP.
Santa Ana will get a breather. Pasok ulit sa loob si John Galinato. 32-26. 2 and 10 left in the second quarter. Mike Are. Hand off to John Galinato. Cornelius. Shot clock at 10. Kalisay lost it. De Los Santos with a running start. The pass to Gumaru off the glass. It will roll out. Gumaru gets it back. Pasa kay Kawilan. Ngayon na kay De Los Santos. The trailer, De La Cruz. Floater no. Got it back. Sizing up Luciano. Masyado masikip yung pasa. Turnover na naman laban sa Ilagan Isabela.
And once again, yung depensa ng Zamboanga forcing Isabela into a late clock situation. That ball got out on the final 7 seconds and really just active feet and hands para dito sa Zamboanga defensively.
We have a timeout with 1 minute and 28 left in the second quarter. Coach Toto Dohilio and the Sarangani Tenacity will go up against the Bacolod Mascara later.
Labanan ng mga taga-South.
Yeah. Batiin ko lang si Coach tuloy. Si Boss Charles Kimpo na nanonood ngayon na sabi niya, no, marami sa mga players ng Zamboanga are battling the flu as well.
Oh, yeah.
So si Med Salim, not in uniform today.
Yeah, kaya pala wala.
Oo. Yung kaninang naka-score, si Alex Muhammad, is actually a proud homegrown ng Zamboanga. Mike Are making the move and scoring for the Zamboanga Sikat. They now cut the lead down to 4, 32-28. Puso kayo ng sakit.
Oo, totoo naman yan. I just want to say, Mohamed played quality minutes earlier. Got a basket early. Very active on the defensive side as well. There you go.
Kawilan, pretty much his calling card, that three-point shot.
Hindi ko alam kung mag-agree ka sa akin, Ken, dahil ikaw ay alam ko, very humble ka. Isa kang shooter din na naglalaro sa labas. Si JP Kawilan, isa sa pinakamaganda pagdating sa shooting. Tama ba ako?
Opo.
Hindi nga. JP Kawilan, di ba?
Oo, magandang bitaw talaga niyan.
Oo.
Galinato, his shot rattles out. 12 seconds remaining in the second quarter. De Los Santos, time winding down.
Doon sila nagka-problema.
Open three, Gumaru, no. Still time. Question is, did Art de la Cruz able to release it in time.
Well, kanina halos walang switch sila doon sa depensa nila. And in this situation, actually later in the final, I think 3 minutes of the second quarter, that's when they started going on switch.
It will count.
And that will count. Only because they started switching and nagkaroon na ng 2 on the ball.
And the Cowboys recovering well. They now have the lead at the half, 37-28 over Zamboanga. Siyam ang lamang ng Ilagan Isabela over Zamboanga after the first two quarters, 37-28. And Ilagan was the one who started things off, Coach Mike. Humabol yung Zamboanga at the latter stages of the first quarter. But here in the second period was where Ilagan, especially towards the end, found their groove a bit and creating some separation against Zamboanga.
Medyo nagpalitan rin ng depensa itong Zamboanga para mapigilan itong Ilagan. Pero yung shooting percentage talaga nila na sobrang baba. Shooting only 27%. They got more to the line. They had 3 more makes on 5 more attempts. And the rebounds, lamang itong Ilagan, and they got more second chance points of it. They were +8 in that department. At talagang trinabaho nga naman yun pagdating doon sa departamento na yun. Pero yung bench points rin ang naging malaking tulong para dito sa Zamboanga. Guys coming off the bench really helping out the production para dito sa Sikat team.
Tonon Gumaru with 9 points to lead the Cowboys. JL De Los Santos with 7. Art De La Cruz meron ding 6 na puntos para sa Ilagan Isabela. Zamboanga, they desperately need that scoring punch. Paeng Are is the one with 5, 4 each from Jordan Santa Ana and JC Luciano. But despite Ilagan Isabela thoroughly out-rebounding them and shooting much better, siyam lang ang lamang. And it's because of the 12 turnovers of the Cowboys in that first half.
Tsaka yung interior defense, dun talaga sila nahirapan, pagdating dito sa production nitong Isabela.
They pitch it inside. Kawilan got Paul Turco rather, biting on that shot fake.
So I guess the absence really of a rim protection para dito sa Zamboanga. Really for the most part, itong si Turco na lang yung naiiwan sa loob ng big na last na dedepensa para sa kanila. And with a lot of mobility sa offensive side para sa Isabela, ini-exploit nila yung pag nagkaroon ng chance na open yung loob ng paint.
Now Paul Turco in foul trouble. That's his 4th foul already. Dalawang free throw na ipasok ni JP Kawilan, giving Ilagan Isabela their first taste of a double-digit lead, 39-28. Santa Ana can't finish. Kawilan the rebound. Pitch ahead. De Los Santos can't convert. Luciano the rebound. Muli po Ken Pangalinan with Coach Mike Perez. A very pleasant afternoon sa ating mga kaliga. Monday hoops to begin the week.
Yes.
To begin the month as well.
Napakagandang panimula para sa buwan ng Marso. Isa sa mga paborito nating buwan yan sa loob ng isang taon. Diyan nagsisimula ang ating mga swimming, excursion. Pero mainit na.
Pa-summer na nga eh.
Oo.
Glenn Capasio with Coach Louie Gonzalez. Gino Mosqueda, Rich Luciano, Paul Turco, Jordan Santa Ana, Paeng Are. The unit on the floor for Coach John Sia. Gino Mosqueda finally scores for Zamboanga.
Well, JP Kawilan, siya yung low side help. Late to rotate, kaya dire-diretso lang si Chino dun sa pagkaka-atake na yun. Ganda rin ang labanan nito, Chino Mosqueda versus JL De Los Santos. At 1 point played both for Muntinlupa. This was that drive by Chino. And that help on the low side really came in late.
Getting past JL De Los Santos. That drive.
Tsaka parehong malakas ang katawan, no? Malakas ang katawan, matalinong manlalaro. Good feed inside to J-Boy Solis.
Right on cue. De Los Santos with a feed to Solis for that easy basket. 41-30. Cowboys re-establishing an 11-point lead.
Yeah, 5 points for J-Boy Solis to go with a couple of rebounds and a couple of assists.
Turco gives it up to Paeng Are. Challenged by J-Boy Solis. May have gotten a piece of that one. Gumaru. Pass to De Los Santos. Short stab. Won't go. Paeng Are. Hop step to the lane. Finish not there though. De Los Santos sumugod. Those airborne colliding with Gino Mosqueda, who picks up the foul there.
And I don't think JL Dos Santos was gonna be willing to give up that ball downhill. Inaabangan lang siya sa baba ni Chino Mosqueda while he did have his shooter on the left side with Don Gomaru. But still, you talk about advantage-wise, the pace at which he's coming downhill, talagang tatapusin na yun ni JL De Los Santos.
At, 2 free throws coming up for JL De Los Santos. Now has 7 points, 2 assists.
And so far this early preseason, no, he's been averaging 26 minutes per game, close to 9 points per game, 4 rebounds and 4 assists, and pretty much a good, mixture of stat line for a big guard and a high IQ one in JL De Los Santos.
Coming in, Edsel Rojas replacing Paul Turco. 43-30. Biggest lead right now for the Cowboys. Bola na, muntik ng maagaw. Santa Ana goes straight to the cup.
Travel, right.
Took an extra step.
That was the right call. Sobrang layo rin nung tinake off niya. And I guess he was hoping na merong foul na matatawag on his way to that attack, but referees didn't give in and so saw that travel. Good call by the officials.
Almost 3 minutes gone by in the third. JL De Los Santos, J-Boy Solis, JP Cawilan, Don Gumaru, and Art De La Cruz ang nasa loob for the Cowboys. De La Cruz at the elbow. Pick set by De Los Santos. Ball stolen away by Zamboanga. They are on the run. Santa Ana in transition scores 2 more points.
Naging sobrang selfish si J-Boy Solis doon. The pass was too close to go on a give and go, and naturally madideflect yun, and it was off to the races for Zamboanga on that end.
Art De La Cruz, elbow jumper. 45-32.
Averaging 10 points per game in 21 minutes of action so far in the early preseason.
Rojas sumubok sa 3, air ball. Diretso pero hindi man lang tumama sa ring.
And I think if you're Coach John Cia right now, as you have how many more games left, parang 2-3 games na lang ang natitira para sa kanila this preseason. And the hope is when you go back, magkaroon ka na mas maraming oras para mag-prepare para sa regular season. More or less, naintindihan mo na kasi players mo.
MoneyPay is the digital wallet built for the community.
Nice pass.
Bilis ng pasahan. De La Cruz connecting with J-Boy Solis down low.
Touch passing, I guess, really is one of the weapons that Isabela would also be using sa regular season, and very capable of having that, especially those 2 guys, J-Boy Solis and Art De La Cruz.
Rojas. Pasa palabas kay Kalisay. 3-pointer won't go in. Cowboys creating separation right now. Bautista's 3 will not fall down. Nice pitch ahead, Are to Kalisay. Earning himself 2 shots at the line.
Well, Kalisay really showing that he too could be a good contributor, not just on the defensive side on the floor, but even in transition. For a guy his size to be running down the floor, asking for the ball, shows you his commitment on that scheme by Coach John.
Arthur Kalisay from Balangiga, Eastern Samar. John Cia. Sablay, parehong free throw ni Arthur Kalisay.
Last season was a 59% free throw shooter, but pretty decent from 3 as well. Si Kalisay at 31% per game.
47-32. Tawilan, tignan mawala sa kanya yung bola. De La Cruz, tumukot. Pero ayaw pumasok. Mike Are. Pinasa kay Fornillos. Give and go. Attempt. But they turn the ball over. Tinggoy wants to slow things down for the Cowboys. Fornillos deflecting it, almost coming away with a steal.
Oh, travel.
Traveling nga, laban kay J-Boy Solis.
But did he? I don't know.
Ano?
Parang may 1-2, shumat fake lang siya. That's why it looked like a travel. Naked eye, parang travel eh. But come to think of it, he was just on a 1-2 stop, did a shot fake.
Sigurado i-review ng ating referees yan. Meron yung mga ano eh, post-game, tinitignan nila buong game, baka mga missed calls, ganyan.
Assessment, no?
Pre-season naman eh.
Yes.
Cowboys with a 15-point
There
lead.
you go.
Kawilan, this is exactly why they brought him here with Ilagan Isabela.
Tsaka alam mo yung mga late clock situation, especially game on the line, that you need that corner 3. Ang eksiring kasi ng dip ng tira ni JP Kawilan, isa yan sa mga gusto ko eh.
Tumobo na sa 18 puntos ang Kalamangan.
Oh, but then you have to make him work on the defensive end. Talagang kinargahan ni Edsel Rojas yun sa pagkaka-post up. Kung advantage sa kanya yung 3 points na yan, kita mo halos very minimal yung dip straight up for that shot. And you love the release and the follow-through from JP.
Arguably the best stretch big we have here in the MPBL. Top of your head ba, sino ba yung mga ganyan?
Yung mga magagandang bitaw.
Oh, na big ah.
I think really just JP. Ano? Tama ba?
Isip nga ako eh.
I don't recall of a stretch big na ganun yung touch katulad kay JP.
Free throw won't fall down. 50-33, Miguel Ona.
Grabe yung movement.
Balita ko, si Miguel Ona, pinsan pala ng isa sa mga colleague natin.
Sino?
Hulaan mo.
Pinahula pa talaga ako.
Oo, hulaan mo ako.
Nasa panel?
Oo, basta sa atin. Mga on-cam talent.
Ni Daphne?
Hindi.
Ano?
Mike Are will score. Cutting it down to 15. I'll give you the until the end of the game.
Okay,
Figure it
sige.
out. Pelebrico. Pumukol sa tres. Wala. Rebound nakuha ni Kalisay. 50-35.
Post up. Once again, that's an advantage.
Rojas. Gustong gawin ni Pelebrico yung pull a cherry.
Oo. Pero kailangan paratingin niya papunta sa kanya eh, para mag-perform niya yun. He kept going through that contact, that fast break earlier na tinapos ito ni Paeng.
Patiin ko lang nanonood yata ngayon si Brandre Bienes.
Oh!
Lagi nanonood yan.
Oo, si Brian Ray.
Oo. Na maganda yung pinakita with Mindoro last season.
Yes. He's still with Mindoro, di ba? Tama ba? O lumipat na?
We'll have to check that.
Okay.
I haven't seen him in the preseason.
Yeah, we haven't.
Edsel Rojas pumwersa sa loob. Getting 2 more points.
But here's the thing with the preseason. You see players on the floor, pero hindi ka nakakasigurong sila pa rin yung mabibitbit ng bawat teams, no? Pagdating sa regular season.
Hindi, yung mga lineups dito sa preseason, it's not set in stone.
Yes.
We've seen like other players in previous iterations of the preseason.
Yeah.
They started out with one team and then moved to another pagdating nung
Correct.
actual regular season.
And so that in a way, some players who might be on the fence, so to speak, pagdating sa kung anong chances nila ma-retain yung teams na pinaglalaroan nila, really is also an audition, no, for the other teams. Baka mamaya ibang team ang make up sa kanila dahil kung ano yung pinaperform nila, yun maaari ang kanilang kailangan.
Miguel Ona, no. Rojas grabs and goes. Kalisay thought about it. Step back for a free. Short. Zamboanga is 0 out of 11
Nice fake.
from downtown. Shot fake leads to this open free from Coco Pingoy, as we would like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL.
And you just love it when Coco Pingoy plays within his usual self, no? Yung shot fake na yun, yung tira, yung allowing that defense to get past him, really pretty much a Coco Pingoy move.
Sabla yung tira ni Inan Cornelius. De Los Santos off the glass and in.
Sobrang dali na yung mga ganong tira kay JL De Los Santos. And you see the maturity also of JL. Back when he played for Muntinlupa, he would have taken it closer, no? But now understanding catch and shoot situation, floater going glass, that's the shot.
11 points for JL. Mike Are can't finish. 30 seconds left in the third. De Los Santos skips it to Coco Pingoy. Tries it from the other side, and he connects once again.
And that, I think, is really the version of Coco Pingoy that Coach Louie and the coaching staff would love to see in the regular season. High IQ, wala problema with Coco Pingoy. It's just that consistency and the minutes that he gets on the floor, he has got to make the most out of it.
Naubos ng oras dito sa third quarter. At least, naibawi ni Mike Are just before the buzzer, hitting a free from the right corner.
Right off the third quarter, no, nakanganib sila na halos single digit lang yung production nila. Buti nilang maganda yung naging panapos sila dito sa third quarter na yun. The shooting continues to be very impressive for Ilagan. They're shooting at 43%. And samantala nag-i-struggle pa rin itong Zamboanga. A lot of the baskets really of itong Isabela really predicated on a lot of ball movement and a lot of assists. Samantala really more transition ang nagiging puntos para dito sa Zamboanga coming off the break. And of course, you know, a couple of triples that Coco Pingoy produced in the latter part of the third quarter helped them spread this lead 58-41.
Reg Gabat still only has 2 points so far for Zamboanga as they're trying to climb out of this 20-point deficit. Cowboys creating some separation here in the third quarter. And they turn the ball over to begin the fourth.
At saka mas maganda yung naging ball distribution para dito sa Isabela Cowboys. Not just doing it on the defensive end, even the offensive end was pretty good.
Lebrico pulling up, off, rebound, Edsel Rojas. Pass outside, Michael Are lets it fly, no. See the quarter scoring pretty much after a tight first quarter. Ilagan Isabela outscoring Zamboanga by a total of 15 points. Plays like that have been key to this run by Ilagan Isabela, now ahead by 19.
Yeah, indeed. And dun talaga pumopondo itong Isabela, coming off defensive stops. Luciano right there with another basket. I recall Luciano in one of the games in Pangasinan. He did a good game, right? Was that against Quezon? Parang tayo yata yung nag-cover nun, di ba? Yung couple of three-pointers that he did to...
Tama.
to start the first quarter. He was that surprise package in that game.
Ano yun eh, that was Pangasinan versus Rizal. Main game.
Rizal, yeah.
Undersized big. Very serviceable for Zamboanga. Tonton Kumaru.
Pangasinan Rizal yung main game.
Main game, oo. Tama ba? Basta yun.
Oh, yun, tama. Tapos sila yung game before that.
Patapos na yung ano yun eh. Regular season nun.
Right.
Papasok na nung play-in. Kumaru can't hit the three. 60-43. Rich Luciano straight away three. Clanks off the rim. JL
Oh, my.
moves forward. Off the window it goes.
Imagine yung versatility na binibigay sa'yo ng isang JL De Los Santos para dito sa Isabela. Last season, they were pretty much, pagdating sa point guard, dependent on Art De La Cruz and the other one being Coco Pingoy. Ito yung atake na to, kita mo, separation through traffic, didn't even bother that contact, had to absorb it, and still that finish na napakalinis.
Silang dalawa kasi si Art saka si JL parehong triple-double threat.
Yes. So Don Gumaru is down after that last play before that.
Oh yeah, he's bleeding.
Yeah, he's bleeding, right?
Profusely.
And this is what Koudao said. Right off the elbow, through the head.
Sumakto.
Inadvertent though. Kaya ako, alam mo, I said it last season, I'm not really a fan of a high rip because yun yung threat eh. That's the risk. You know, you have a face for the most part right in front of that elbow. And that really is just how the game is played nowadays because normally before pag sinabi mong rip pababa no, sa ilalim ng arm nung depensa, pero right now this was a high rip. And if you remember earlier we talked to Coach Louie, he was saying something about yung burn ng minutes ng mga players na lalo na sa sunod-sunod na laro.
But Wright will be back. Hopefully, Tonton Kumaru is okay. Back here at the Marikina Sports Center, you see Don Gumaru being attended to here. Watch this play again. Yeah, got hit by Reg Gabat on that trip-through move, Coach Mike.
That high rip really, that elbow diretso dun sa ulo ni Don Gumaru.
And Gumaru was whistled for that foul, but no call on Reg Gabat. Very interesting. Because it was Don Gumaru who got the brunt of that one. What do you think, Coach?
Well, my personal opinion is that if it's a high rip, I don't think may contact sa baba. So, I guess what I'm saying is that kung nauna yung bump ng separation, dapat nakalayo na si Don Gumaru eh. Kahit mag-high rip si Gabat. I may be wrong, but that's how I see it.
Saka ano yun eh, yung pagkakatama ni Reg Gabat, could fall under the criteria of excessive hard contact.
Exactly.
Under sa mga criteria with an unsportsmanlike foul. Gumaru, hopefully he's okay. And it's a good sign that he was being helped by Edsel Rojas and I think si Jordan Santa Ana, no?
Yep.
He spent bunch of minutes on the floor because his nose was bleeding profusely after that hit.
Yes. And as always, even in the regular season, much as nakita natin yung puntos na yun para kay J-Boy Solis, much as these guys compete still, yung safety of both the players and the fans are really a priority to the league. So we wish Don Gumaru well.
66-45. Obviously, no intention to hurt naman for Reg Gabat. But
wala naman.
I think if you're the game officials, you have to make a call there. Kasi, yun nga eh. Pasok yun sa excessive hard contact eh.
Yeah.
Whether it's intentional or not. Kasi parang lang yan parang lang yan, Coach Mike. Binangga mo.
Or drumive, napatid mo. That's a foul. That's a foul. Well, our officials saw otherwise. So, I guess magiging kasama rin naman yan sa mga magiging, sabi mo kanina, pre-season ito. May mga assessments yan on the calls being made.
66-48. Points of turnovers. Lamang Zamboanga dyan.
Diyan sila talaga pumopondo eh. At sa free throw, gano'n na rin. Mas may 8 silang attempts than that of Ilagan. But the rebounds have really been controlled. See right there, Don Gumaru looks pretty okay. At least conscious.
Yeah, but could have suffered a broken nose.
Yeah.
We probably have tests will be done to see kung ano talaga yung nangyari sa kanya. No? We have a timeout, 5 minutes and 35 seconds left. Ilagan comfortably ahead. Back with us here at the Marikina Sports Center. 66-48 our score. MoneyPay is the digital wallet built for the community. Kawilan inside, adding to his point total, 12 points, 5 rebounds for JP Kawilan. And Cowboys pretty much in command, up by 20.
Yes. Lumobo na to. Umabot pa ng 21 yung kalamangan. Itong Isabela.
Midway point of the fourth quarter. JL leaning in. Art De La Cruz. Bank shot will work.
Gusto ko yung persistent na paint touches na ginagawa ng Isabela, especially here in the second half, where I'd like to think kahit paano na-stabilize na nila yung kanilang schemes, and you have to give credit to Zamboanga. They did a good job defensively early in the first half.
Zamboanga just could not make shots and also not helping their cause. Badly out-rebounded here by the Cowboys. Alenvina comes in. Just a second remaining on the shot clock na agaw ng Ilagan. De Los Santos in transition. Just left it short. So this is a very different Zamboanga team altogether. Paeng Are hitting a free. Cuts it down to 19. 4 minutes left here in the fourth. But again, talking about Ilagan Isabela, adding some pieces. We still have Art De La Cruz there, Coco Pingoy, Josh Giab, Alan Santos. But with Allen Mina returning, actually silang dalawa ni Don Tumaru got traded for each other. Now finding themselves together here with Ilagan. Rich Luciano able to score with JC Luciano. De La Cruz can get that one. Paeng Are. And, you know, with Coach John Cia, he knows that you know, they're trying to build this one almost from scratch. Yung lineup nila, Coach Mike. But what do you see here, at least, that they could build around on as they continue on with the preseason and going into the regular season?
I think for Zamboanga, you know that you have really good guards right there. You have the Are brothers, you have Chino Mosqueda, the shooting of Kalisa. Kalisa may not be there yet, pero that's something you definitely can build on. Ang kailangan, sa pananaw ko, sa bigs ang kailangan nila, because right now, the points inside the paint and even the rebounds have been pretty much dominated by Isabela. And that's where rim protection and rebounding, closing out their defense with, defensive rebounds. Ilagan at this point already has 9 offensive rebounds out of the 44 that they've got in total boards for this game. And that really is because of yung activity ng mga big man itong Ilagan Cowboys that really persistently attacks the paint, just like this one right here. Again, it really goes back to the absence or the lack of a rim protection.
At yun naman yung pinatutuwa ngayon, Coach Louie Gonzalez, having that added size sa roster niya, no?
Yeah. Sa guard spot, alam mo, you're pretty okay. It's just a matter of them guys coming together. Points of turnover, plus 11, plus 13 sila dyan, 17 versus 4. And hindi mo naman matatawaran yung interior passing nitong dalawang magigiting na kaliweting ito ni J-Boy Solis at Art De La Cruz. Even from last season, those two have been pretty solid.
Coach's challenge from Coach John Cia. 2 minutes and 13 seconds left. down by 19 points. And, syempre, no, gusto nilang habulin itong kalamangan, but just little time left on the clock. We'll be back for the result of this challenge.
Upon review, the challenge was successful.
Successful challenge by Zamboanga on that last out-of-bounds play.
J-Boy nga naman, last touch.
Yeah. Still have two more games to go after this one. Second game natin is Bacolod versus Sarangani. And then San Juan will go up against Muntinlupa. Tough move. Absorbing contact, finishing anyway, was Paeng Are.
Yan, yung sinasabi natin na pagdating sa Guardia, halos may magandang build ka na para sa Zamboanga because of the Are brothers. And again, going back to Chino Mosqueda, let's not forget you also have John Galinato who also can score coming out of last season for San Juan. And nandiyan pa si Achi Inigo who I don't think has gotten any minutes in this game. So when you talk about guard experience, you have an abundance of that here in this preseason roster.
74-58. And also credit the Cowboys for cleaning up the turnovers a bit here in the second half after committing 12 in the first two quarters.
Medyo nag-slow down na yung mga pag-control nila sa turnovers nila. And at the same time, umigpit rin yung depensa nila.
Time winding down on the shot clock. Paeng Are. The ball ends up with Coco Pingoy. The pitch ahead to Josh Kiab. Extreme ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Ilagan Isabela with a tough schedule to begin this preseason. But I'm sure they would like to get this win, but obviously the concern is on Don Gumaru. If you just tuned in, tinamaan siya, no, of that trip-through move kanina ni Reg Gabat. Obviously unintentional,
Yes.
but he was on the receiving end of that and suffered a bloody nose. Was down for quite some time, and good sight, no, na natulungan siya ni Edsel Rojas, Jordan Santa Ana. We're hoping for the best for him, obviously, especially really playing well since he arrived from Pampanga now with Ilagan Isabela.
Oo, totoo. Hindi naman kaibahan yung expectation with Don Gumaru coming in. Last season, he shot 40% from three, played 18 games, 14 of them he started, and he really just brought about that needed production from beyond the arc. And ang kagandahan niya, Don Gumaru also has other shooters now that can help space the floor. You have Bong Galanza, JP Kawilan, one might argue even Allen Mina.
Latsile could really hit that outside shot. Something that at times were missing
Yes.
for Ilagan Isabela.
And we had that conversation earlier with Coach Louie. And if yung sinabi niya sa atin kanina would hold true, then napakalaking tulong nung isa pang talent na kanilang inaay, especially on the point guard spot. Because you're already pretty okay with your three sets of bigs. But to add on another point guard, malaking bagay yan sa rotation ng Guardia para kay Coach Louie at sa Isabela.
Paeng Are adding up his point total up to 15 points after that end one play. 3.5 seconds left here in this ball game. And the Cowboys bouncing back from that tough loss. And holding on to this victory, beating Zamboanga Sikat, notching their third win against 4 losses. They still have one more game to cap off the elimination phase. And this has got to feel good if you're Coach Louie Gonzalez, especially with your top point guard really contributing well. JL De Los Santos, our best player of the game.
And when you talk about JL, tonight he played 24 minutes, 13 points, 4 of 7 from the field. He might have had 6 assists, pero it really was more of the finishes, especially out in the open. And this was a game where JL did not commit a single turnover.
Final score, 63 for the Zamboanga Sikat and 78 for the Ilagan Isabela 5-star Cowboys. Up next, Bacolod versus Sarangani. Kaya huwag kayong aalis mga kaliga dahil magbabalik pa po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League.